people know you from different kind of campaigns you've been involved with, but different advocacy you've done. One of the ones, obviously, was school lunches, heavily involved in that. School lunches has kind of fallen to the wayside a little bit in the news, mostly because it seems most of the time it seems to be working okay. But certainly we're not getting the same reports from schools as we once were. However, today, Christchurch School says it was given rancid lunches covered in mould. A Christchurch school is warning parents a, quote, significant health and safety breach, end quote, after it said school lunches it was provided with contaminated. I'm sorry to advise that we had a significant health and safety breach with the school lunches today, and some of the food provided has been contaminated. Basically, they're warning parents that I think some kids might have ingested it all. So a pretty, as you can see, red alert warning there. It has fallen a bit to the wayside, this conversation. Hopefully it's not because it's still as bad as it was and the media's just moved on to the next thing. Are you still involved? Are you still hearing from people? Where are we at with school lunches today, Tania?
Well, the timing of this is actually really interesting because I am about to submit my written submission on the school lunches petition for the Select Committee to consider. And part of my written submission is an Official Information Act request that I received back asking how many complaints and how many injuries had happened as a result of the school lunches. And we got over 900 of complaints and injuries that were reported. And that was only as of June. So that's literally only half the year. And I've been sitting on that since then, waiting for the petition to be put before the Select Committee so that I can put that information in with my written submission. And then lo and behold, so I've got to submit that on Monday, and then this happens. So some really interesting timing in terms of that. The other reason why I think you've probably not heard that much about what's been going on with the school lunches recently is because they very quietly, and I only saw one media story about this, dropped Compass for 2026 and gave it back to a number of the local providers, which is why I got involved in the first place, because it was one of the local providers and my dealings with the switch over to Compass that made me go, this is all wrong and, this shouldn't be happening. So that took place very quietly, and I do think that it was, this government trying to dampen down the outrage that they had been seeing earlier in the year, which led to the petition and all of the other work that we had done around the school lunches. But now we've had, basically this resurgence of another serious health issue caused by the school lunches, and I'm about to put my submission in for the Select Committee. So we shall see in terms of when that actually pushes forward. But the fact that they dropped Compass before we even got the petition to the committee, I'm going to take that as a win. I actually had no hope that they would do anything, and I thought they would just carry on as they were and ignore it. But yeah, I'm taking that as a win for that petition. And there's still so much more that needs to happen with the school lunches. So I'm going to carry on and I'm going to put that submission in. And this just illustrates that, clearly it's not fixed, even though the politicians will say, the OIA that they gave me back, they tried to dress it up and say, well, we were only delivering this many late before, and now we're only delivering this many late now. And, basically trying to do a bit of a whitewash on the statistics. Again, unlucky for them, I actually am really good at maths and SAT calculus a year ahead. So they are trying to, I suppose, what I would call do some damage control before election year and try and get this off the plate, because it was such a hot topic. And that's very clear in terms of I would say it's a back down. It's especially for Compass, because Compass was the main issue, and it was the specific thing that I asked for in the petition was to drop them and give it back to the other providers.